in the morning, sun not shine, where they calling, crip grind up. Platforms buzzing, good vibes we send. And riding the truth, grinding in where the blockchain, the proof from the wallet to the moon, we holding it strong. As the road to riches is the torch, yeah, market alive. Dumping all coins and oh my God, it's feeling just begun. Oh my God. Clicking on turning back to fire, stacking the gains. Something went wrong. No stress in my veins. Post on X, GM fam, let's rise. Let's worry as we reach in the sky. Before we play the intro, you guys, you need to drop your Stewie wallets in the comments and repost this room, right? If you want to get some free gas, everybody will get Fart Coin on Stewie. They get some gas money. Go ahead and drop that wallet in the comments and repost the room. Let's go. Positivity spread, crypto's the future, fiat's long dead. From Solana to Ed, we building the way. Rasta in the code, Jack guide us today. I revives when the blockchain secure, decentralized world of vision so pure. No bank, no boss, just peer to peer. With the dream, and we're working all life. X keep us linked, the signal so clear. Tweeting GM loud, let the whole world hear. Yo, yeah. Oh, good morning on X, retweeting the truth, grinding in where the blockchain, the proof from the wallet to the moon, we holding it strong. What's the road to riches? Sing the crypto song. So wake up on the grind, don't stop. Web press the wave, we're reaching the top. Good morning on X, let's keep it real. Crypto's the fire, just love we feel. Yeah. All right. Tick, you ready? Yeah. What's the ticker? Yeah. What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat, got a runner on the map. Solana sniping like a gat, and the SOE is moving quickly. I'm the squeezing where they at. I'm trying to bring the meme coins back. 1,000X is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at? All right. Good morning, everybody here in this room. Welcome to this Sui space. And Take, are we having a live stream up so I can welcome all the people on the YouTube live stream and all the people on the X live stream as well?
Yes, indeed. We are all
I'm
set.
waiting for you to
Locked
put
in.
that link
Yes.
up in the Jumbotron for us, please, so
Yeah.
we can, if you want to.
Here, let me try again.
Yeah,
I
it's not
thought I
showing.
shared it. Here. Okay, post shared. Get down from there. Danish. God. Yes. I've got it up now. There we go. I apologize. I thought I had tried posting it, and you know how X loves to do its own thing.
Yes. Here we go.
But yes.
Yes.
Let's see. How are you
So
today?
let's say welcome to the people on YouTube and
Yes,
on X then, right? Because they are joining into everything too, you guys. But if you want to get some of that gas token, who knows? We're gonna maybe pick a rando wallet, and I'm gonna add just some extra sui to. Might be you, right? But then you got to be in the space and leave your wallet, your sui wallet, into the comments, right? Everybody in the comments will get something. And maybe one lucky pick will get some extra sui on top of that, so you can double down on your sui gems right here. Yes, Dick. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm fantastic. How are you doing today?
It's hot in Amsterdam, so I'm trying not to complain because I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather, and the sun right now is not helpful. But I'm trying to enjoy anyways. Wild, right?
Mm.
YOLO, YOLO, and we just make a day out of it. Man, we make a day out of it. How are things in Cali?
Today things are going great. Let's see, same old stuff over here. Just another day in paradise. Nice, beautiful day. The market is some exciting things going on in the market as well. Let's and yes, I do want to welcome Sorry, I'm like a little bit scattered over here, right? I do want to
Yes.
welcome all of those people for tuning in, though. All the listeners that have joined us and all the regular community members. Thank you for joining Wilder and I to find all the latest alpha and, do the deep dive into the SUI network as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's just go ahead and talk a little bit about the market overall, right? So we had a little drop in that dominance down to 62, which gave us over the week 3% and 0.5% on a daily. And so that gave some relief to the alts. Of course, we saw SUI reacting massively as the first, I think, a first mover in this case, immediately gas on the pedal there. Of course, that has a lower market cap as a blockchain, so it can actually do these numbers, right? And that has led to a breakout on that chart, like a massive breakout. So there is a little bit of a sell ceiling, a bear ceiling hanging around that cloud on $4, right?
Yeah.
But it's trying to bust through. However, if we look at that, let's see the full chart on the dominance,
Yeah. Yesterday was
because
for my
yeah,
DCA yesterday because it was going up to 410, and it's like I think
yeah.
I got in at 395 because for
Listen,
my DCA.
anything under $10 is good.
Yeah,
So don't
right.
worry about it too much.
I know
Don't worry about it.
I'm like sweating like 5 cents. Like I think about it and I think it's like foolish, but I also look at like the long term. I'm like that adds up over time if I'm doing a DCA.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yes,
I try
yes.
to buy at the lowest point of the day of the 24-hour market, which isn't impossible to do. That's kind of easy. Just set in a limit order or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we had that dominance drop, and it was kind of the same as the beginning of May that it did, and it's kind of making a double bottom there. And of course, that will crank up again because Bitcoin is not done with its rally. So anybody who says alt season, when you say alt season, you also say top Bitcoin, right? So and we can't say that. That's just not happening. So let's have a look for Biddy then. What is Biddy gonna do? Well, that seemed to have cooled down enough to go a little sideways, test the waters here, building a little bit of structure before our next leg up, and then the next leg up should take us to 126, 130k, anywhere there. Or we gonna move more sideways in a channel and then do a bigger rip in October, right? So that could be a scenario too, you guys. It's very hard to time these markets. It just means that what happened last week should tell you that you need to huddle hard, DCA on your favorite things because we're just not there yet. And
Hmm.
the next 6 months are going to be uh, either you're going to make generational wealth or you're going to get stomped out, right? So that is just what it should tell us. So even if Bitcoin is moving sideways, takes a little bit long here, do not worry. We're going to get there. But yeah, there's some weird bullishness going on around Bitcoin uh, that we will touch on then tomorrow or something like that, which I always talk about. These countries are kind of eyeballing and FOMOing. Institutional money is now kind of been a little bit FOMOing, but
Yeah.
retail is still not there. Retail is actually at bear market low numbers, which is insane because Bitcoin should be its all-time highs, right? Bitcoin should have a lot more retail, and so you need to stack your satoshis as well as your suis and solanis and whatever you got going there, right? Because we're heading for a big run, you guys. Every time that Bitcoin jumps up, there is trillions more in the market than last season. And the last bull season for the alts, and so it's going to be one big party. Now, of course, there are going to be more tokens, but all in all, it's going to be epic. So, get ready for that. Of course, honorable mention for XRP today. I got to mention it. XRP does what XRP does, and it pumps when it wants to pump. And we kind of see the same for Tron, right? Tron is kind of that way too. Tron is like from the beginning has been in an upward trend. It's so funny that people are not interested in Tron at all. Go ahead, join some spaces there, you guys. Don't be a, even though this is a SUI space, but don't be a maxi, a chain maxi. You got to be an opportunity maxi, right? That's what we're here for. And that's also the reason why we have the SUI space to begin with, because SUI is a big opportunity, right? It just screams opportunity. It has been for the last 2 years. And looking back, right, when I DCA'd in on 50 cent Sui, I wasn't knowing where this was going to go. I just did my research and thought, well, this all looks too bullish to me based on numbers and facts. And so I DCA'd in. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I just did my DCA without knowing wherever this was going to go, right? And so hindsight is always 2020, you guys. But I think Sui has now um, showed itself to the masses a little bit more, and people are paying attention. And the ones who got early are the ones who are going to get blessed the most. That's just how this works in this space, right? That's just how it works. So yeah, let's touch on some highlights on Sui then, right? Let's put the spotlight on there. Sui has seen a 38% price increase over the last week, right? Trading at that $4, eyeing the potential of new all-time high above that $5.35, and my extension says $7.20 something. It broke out of that asymmetrical triangle pattern. Yes, it did. Some predicted target of $10, driven by bullish momentum. Actually, if you do if you put it on daily and you put a Fibonacci extension on there, you could see that the golden pocket is sit somewhere between 30 and 25 and $30, right? So if it's going to do it that cycle, we don't know. It could, but conservatively, we're looking at $20 Sui. Sui also has this Bitcoin integration that nobody's talking about, but it did. So Sui has become the first non-EVM blockchain to support direct minting of TBTC, unlocking 500 million in Bitcoin liquidity for DeFi applications. And this enhances Sui position in the Bitcoin Fi sector, right, which is a high-speed infrastructure processing these almost 300,000 transactions per second. So yeah, also has this. Um, well, I kind of lost my train of thought. This is what a lot of Tylenol will do for you, and a lot of the heat. Yes, I was going to talk about that outflow from Ethereum so consistently, and this is why I DCA'd and hodled more of my Sui and got into that ecosystem and was buying meme tokens and the utility when it came out. I got them all right when they came out. And I have yet to sell $1 in that whole ecosystem. I'm just hodling on because I know this will get blessed because the outflow from Ethereum has been consistently going to number one, Sui, and then number two, Base. And so when we look at last bull run, we had Solana, of course, and we had BNB doing very good as a layer one. And now we see Sui and Base as a layer two standing up to rise to the occasion of possibly being these golden children of this bull run. I certainly believe that Sui is going to be. And so we saw it last year around the same time when Sui was gearing up for a massive breakout there too, with that all-time high, that rally for the all-time high starting in September, and it caught everybody by surprise. But the people who were on there already, knowing their projects, sticking with it, grinding it out, right? They were doing crazy, crazy X's. It was crazy. It's going to happen again. The sentiment of Sui is flipping BNB in a 24-hour trading volume, and there's also positive sentiment around the ecosystem growth. And yes, analysts are also optimistic about these ETFs approval later this year. So there's, of course, these talks about ETFs around Sui, which I think is inevitable for Sui at this point, and that is really quickly for such a young token. And that's going to happen in Q4 as well, right? And so everything eyes on Q4. You still have some time to buy some floors to DCA in, right? And then when it's time, you get to long your long real hard. Let's go, Tick.
Yes,
Tick is like,
I was reading about the Sui play. Um,
oh
God,
yeah,
yes,
I
someone.
ordered those.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What's his name? Also, Sir Grok, who was in here yesterday. He told me that he had pre-ordered one too. I'm kind of jealous. So you pre-ordered one, the Sui play?
Well, actually, multiple, because I went to 140 airdrops, and then one I just want to leave in a box as a keepsake.
Whoa. Damn, that's so cool.
That's basically what I do.
That's so sick.
That's I know that's so nerdy of me, but I kind of feel like there's something special about Suey, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I need to have a keepsake.
That's
I need to have
awesome.
something. Yes,
Hell yeah.
yes, absolutely. So are we gonna say hi? Anybody? Yes, anybody who wants to come up on stage? You're more than welcome to join up on stage. It's Suey Space. Tell us why you're bullish on Suey. Tell us what you're holding, right? And the reasons why. What is this?
Oh, yes. If you're holding any farts in, just let them rip.
Yeah, just holding any farts in, just let it out. No, join us on stage. We want to get to know each other, right? This is going to be one hell of a ride the next coming 6 months. And I want us to have fun together, right? Because there is going to be some generational wealth to be had on every chain, but especially Sui. So let's go. It's always good to request up to speak. It's good for your account if you do so. If you want more engagement, it's just really boosting your account in your comments and stuff later on while you're in the space. So don't hesitate and just request up. Also, I do not bite, right? So let's go. There's just I have to say it. So let's welcome Coach because he's on stage here with us. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon to you, good morning to
Yes.
Tick, and good
Hey, good
morning to
morning.
everybody else. How are we this morning?
Doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Great, great. I'm doing great. I took a day off to just do Web3 thing, and been just networking a lot today. Taking it rather easy, but no, it's great. It's great. Up only season.
Yes, yes.
Up only season. I love it. Yes, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And of course, Coach, very much deep into the whole Fartcoin black hole. Just anytime I think of Fartcoin, there's just words shooting into my brain and coming out of my mouth directly. And there's no holding back.
Hey, yo.
That is crazy. Yeah, so Fartcoin is a new token on Sui launched a month ago, 31 days ago today or something like that, right? Crawled all the way up from the 1K all the way up to the 700K, and now holding a really strong floor at like 480, 500
Or
is
it
the
was
deal here.
520 last time I looked at it.
Uh,
Let's
I
pull it
think
up.
I think there
Is
was
is it back down to
was
480?
yeah, there's a little trading going on, which is good for volume, you guys. So people are gonna try and trade the charts. It's volume. It's launched on Moonbag, so you can stake it. So that these people that are trading, if you're staking your
Hmm.
bag, right, you make money off that crap. So, that is a plus. There's also, some bonuses and extras in Fartcoin. If you want to find out more about that, just go ahead into that TG Fartcoin on Sui, right? Join that TG and try and find out the things that are available to you with Fartcoin. And of
Yeah.
course, there's this Fartcoin sitting at 1 point something billies on Solana and in the multi millies on base. And so there's absolutely when Sui starts to get the eyes and the spotlight, which we know it's all gonna get, right? Then this token will do some ugly numbers too. Um, so there is that. Okay, yes, I see one freaky. Good morning, one freaky.
Hello, hello. It's evening where I am,
Oh,
but
Well,
good morning to you
evening.
anyway.
Yes, well, it's good morning. Always in crypto, we can say good morning, and it will be okay because it's good morning somewhere.
Your space is awesome, by the way. Really enjoyed tuning into you.
Well, thank you very much for the flowers. Where are you from?
Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
Yeah.
That's not that far away.
Oh, yeah. You're in Amsterdam or
Yes,
Holland?
that's just across the pond. We can go there by boat if we have to.
Ah.
So you're
Awesome.
enjoying some nice weather over there too.
It is hot and muggy at the moment. I'm out
Yes.
walking my dogs, and it's not raining, which is a big change for Ireland.
Yes.
You know, it's always raining here, but not so much today.
I
But
feel you there.
but yeah, no, I'm a Fartcoin guy. And yeah, no, coach is fucking awesome, right? Um, as soon as I found that group, Sui's a lot friendlier than a lot of other, blockchain chains. Hope it stays that way. Um, Farcoin group are really, really smart, so that's why I'm in. So, big ups to you for pushing it.
Yes, no problem. I see. So you know what? I mentioned I'm in a lot of projects, you guys. I buy bags on Sui all the time. I don't even care about the projects, um, with each other, not with you. I don't even care. I buy this because all these tokens are going to do a hardcore rally. And so, and one might get further than others, but moon bags everywhere for me on Sui, and I don't even look at those, right? Tossing a moon bag. But sometimes there's these tokens that get a little bit of extra love from me because I think they're hilarious, right? How hilarious would it be for Wild here, who's usually basically a utility hoe, because that's what I am, right? I'm a utility trader. I'm a future trader as well. So I do a lot of technical analysis. I hang with a lot of Bitcoin people, right? And so how great would it be to just go to the Bitcoin party and be like, hey, you guys, I retired on fart, something like Fartcoin, right? That's hilarious to me. So yeah, it's awesome. But how did you get on Sui anyways? Was it through Fartcoin or were you on Sui already?
No, I saw a random tweet by an influencer I won't mention, and just went, "Oh, what's that?" And like you, I just thought, "Hey, this is early, and this is potential," so jumped in.
Is it, did you find it hard to move over to Sui?
No, it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy.
You just did you do it with a
Just,
Phantom wallet?
just yeah, exactly. Just use it a Phantom, and yeah, it works pretty quick.
Yeah, that Phantom wallet, you guys, that came out in the winter time for Sui. I thought it was January, something like that. And they wanted to do it early already, but yeah, that takes some work, right, to do these things. So Phantom came out, and that has been such a good thing for Sui because a lot of people do not want to change wallets, right? So completely understand that if you need to go somewhere, you need to open another wallet and another set of keys
Too
that you
many
need
things to
to.
remember, right? So
Yes,
you
that
got to
you need
make
to
it easy.
remember. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So this will make boarding so easy for Sui. And so also if you mint NFTs and stuff, which brings me to the next thing because I saw Priest down here. I guess he's not anymore, but I do saw that PFP and I saw a Tick. You might want to pull your post up, Tick, from Board Toilet Club. Is Tick still around?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, the which post? The one that I posted of the
Yeah,
NFT from
I gave
yesterday?
you the NFT, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that
So when
reminds
that
me as
mint
I'm
was,
scrolling, the final
yeah,
boss. I know that you liked. Oh, and we're not doing a Solana space, but you
no,
liked that final boss PFP thing that I did. That was pretty
yeah, no,
sick,
but I
right?
was kind of going for the Board Toilet Club here to
Yes,
quickly
yes, I got
check
it right
with you.
here. I got it right here. So this is my latest
Yeah.
NFT, and it's got like a nice mint green um, robe, and these are like my favorite colors. This mint green and this like teal blue color. So and then with the shades, this is like you were saying, you're like this is so you Tick, and like with the mustache and everything, this is actually like so me.
So here's what
I
happens,
love
you
this.
guys. If you visit our space more regular, we always have very good projects up on stage. There's absolutely we haven't had any rugs. Every token that came here to shill, right? We asked the questions, right, and we put them on blast on YouTube and stuff, and they all have been up, right, and they all are doing well. But here's what happens when an NFT project or a coin that is starting to have their NFT collection minted out. Usually, what happens is Tick will be silent and he'll be minting the whole time. And I cannot do that while being the host of this space, talking and then having to open the wallet and stuff. So I just usually do it after. But I always somehow mint the less bullish ones. And so this time I was front running Tick. And so he was talking, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna mint." So I was just minting, and I actually at one point told you like, "Hey, stop me from minting," because I'm minting a whole lot here. And yeah, that was a 4,444 um, mint, and it was minted out already, and I didn't realize that. So it's a few days passed, like 4 days passed, and I looked in my wallet and I was like, oh my god, yes, I have all these mints that I let me check out what I minted. And I actually, from the whole batch, I minted like three ones that were in the top 500. And
Wow.
then when I minted that green one, I saw it fly by, and I was, this is the one I'm going to give Tick, because this looks like Tick
Yes, that is
with
so
the
sick.
mustache. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so awesome. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Thank you.
No, no problem. Also, right, you posted that a shit ton of engagement, right? There's a
That
floor
was
rising. So if you guys are looking for a bullish uh, NFT, right, they
on
are,
Sui.
yeah, on Sui, Tradeport. Go to Tradeport and look up that board, Toilet Club, which is a nice acronym, like BTC, right? Board Toilet Club. And yes, I think it's hilarious and good fun.
Oh, maybe it's
I really like the
flush.
art.
Is it flush?
Huh?
Let's fucking flush. Is
Yeah,
that what
let's
the
fucking flush. That's, I
is that
thought, I didn't know.
is that what it is?
I
Like
didn't
it
know.
just dawned on me right now as I was looking at it because I
Yeah,
was like, what
yeah.
can that mean? And like I'm like, oh, toilet flush. It's let's.
Yes,
It
let's
has to
fucking
be.
flush.
Yo, let's see
I was
hearts.
thinking, I
Let's see
told you, I
hearts.
thought it was L, because they have the LFF.
Yeah.
I was like, is it let's fucking fart?
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. I thought it was let's fucking fuck, which I was
Yeah,
like, that's kind of weird.
I know, it's kind of
And then I was
weird.
like, oh, let's
Flush
fucking
makes more
fart.
sense.
Okay, yeah, let's fucking fart. That makes more sense. And then now, as I was looking at it, I'm like, oh no, it's got to be flush because
It's
over
got to
his
be.
on his bandana it says LFF over and over again too. So I was like, okay, it wasn't a typo at first. I thought it was like a typo that they meant to put LFG and just like and
Yeah.
the AI generated the wrong letter and it was a hallucination and they just left it or
Yeah.
something. It's
No,
like,
it was not. No,
damn.
it's let's fucking flush. And
Yeah. That
yeah,
is
so
what it is.
go on Tradeport, and maybe you could pick, if you like it, pick some up. I think it's a bullish project, a bullish NFT mint for Sui. I really like the art. The only thing that I dislike is that there are no female pirates. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like dun, 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 right?
Yeah.
So very unattractive for me to wear
Yeah,
as a
I hate
female.
that. When you pointed that out to me, I was like,
Yeah.
yo, like,
Or not
um,
even something shiny or pinkish or something that I would like, right?
or a
So,
gay pirate.
uh,
Yeah, you do
yeah,
do a gay
gay
pirate for
pirate.
the
Yeah, I would rock a gay pirate anytime.
is it like a
I
girly
would, I
pirate
would.
or something.
Yeah.
Eh.
Oh man, yes, right, but no. So, but yeah, I love the art, right? It has very different. I think I like it also because it has very different types of rarities in it and combinations, and that makes it fun. And so, and some of them are just downright hilarious, right, with the plungers and stuff. And I have one that has a golden necklace with a toilet roll hanging, right? With a hanger on it, a big golden toilet roll. Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, the only thing I do not like about it is no female characters here. And it's kind of like, yeah, we're in 2025 now, and I know that females are not
Right,
big in the space,
right.
right? Even though it's more than you think, because
It's
tomorrow
way
there'll
more
be
than you think. It's
yeah,
crazy.
tomorrow I'm gonna join crypto, a UK crypto queen and empress, and all these bullish females in the space, and we're gonna talk about Sui, the females of Sui, right? So that's where I'm going tomorrow, you guys. So you can catch me there too. Follow me around. I'll be there talking. And so there are a lot more females in the space, so it's kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, you could have done 20 females, right? You don't have to make 500 or something like that, but you could have done a few. And I would have max bid on that one too, right? I probably would have paid more and grabbed that. So lost chance for that. But yeah, overall, bullish. Yeah, coach, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to ask your take on projects that come out with a token address and then launch an NFT collection. That's really the question.
Hold on.
I think it's bullish. When
Come out
when
with
the
a token
token comes
address.
first and then the NFTs, I mean off the top of my head, I know that you're asking Wilder, but the my impression is that like anything that helps build community can be a positive thing, but there it is a
Yes.
double-edged sword where on the other hand, when it feels like it's a cash grab to extract liquidity, you can also sense that as well. They have a distinct feel either way. Like you just it has a feeling like you're waiting for the rug to get pulled out from under you. And on the other hand, when it is an NFT project, let's say it's like a bullish community and it's a way for people like the gemstone community, for instance. I think their NFT collection is extremely bullish because it gives the community something to identify with, and collectibles, and some engagement, and it makes it fun. And that's just one example of a Solana token with the NFT collection. But that's my impression. I was gonna say as an outsider, but I actually am a gemstone gemtard
Well,
holder and a
I
community member
know,
myself.
I know that this project was a collab, right? So, the Board Toilet Club was supposed to be something separate, but then they connected to toilet, and I know the sentiment there. So, but this is a little bit different because it's a collab. But normally, under any other circumstances, if there is a community that is bullish and that wants to show that to the world through their PFPs. And this is the thing with NFTs that people identify with. They're not selling them, and same goes for digital dogs, right? You have your dog. You might have other dogs that you may want to sell, but not the dog you wear. And you kind of, it's very powerful because if I change my PFP, people won't even put me up as speaker in spaces when they normally would. I then have to go into their DMs and say, like, I requested up, pull me up. And it's just because I'm wearing a different PFP. They don't recognize me. So people become very, very recognizable through their PFPs. So it's part of your brand. And because don't get it wrong, your presence on X is a part of your brand. It's part of you, who you are, expressed through X, right? And if you want to affiliate yourself with the token that you're most bullish on, why not? I think it can work. It can work long term for the hegemony of the token, right? But I also see when the token is not supported by a good def and it flips, sentiment flips, then yeah, these NFTs will be worthless then too, because that's the sentiment of the token goes hand in hand, right? It could really be bullish. But then if the project's not supported, it can really flip bearish there as well. But it's a very powerful when people start identifying and wearing a PFP with a project, then that is initially very, very, very bullish. But people are not going to do that with things they're not bullish on.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's twofold. They can even wear. I can give you an example of HPOP HI with blips. So that was XRP8, massive farm, you guys, that went south like crazy. But they came out 3 months later after the token with blips. They were ugly AF, seriously ugly. Was on ETH. The NFTs were not appealing at all, right? But still, people were bullish on them because of the community, and everybody wants to belong somewhere. And so at one point, they did have a floor of about 1, 2, 3 ETH. That's where it went. And so but everybody was, I see still people wearing their freaking blip. That's how attached they are. I still see people from the community wearing the blip. So yeah, and there's also something to it when you trade NFTs for trading. Usually you don't wear it as your PFP. And I think sometimes people, when an NFT loses value, especially in the bear market and stuff, well, I kind of think these things pay for themselves just by being the part of the community, making the friends. It's like an entry ticket, right, to a party. And you're at the party and you get to meet people, you get to network, and you learn things. And I made many friends in many communities, very bullish people that I still talk to, and some of them became even friends that I see real life, right? So is that too, and that's kind of worth something too. So yeah, these are just my thoughts on them. I noticed that when sometimes when things get really really bullish with a community, that an NFT like that can really work really really well because then the presence on X will be confirmed, and yeah. But yeah, it's got to be a little bit of the art. Everything's got to fall into place, so it's not something you should think lightly of, right? If if a token wants to go down that road. And sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes there's an NFT collection and then a token being launched later. Because it turns out that the NFT collection is just too bullish and too big of a community. So that happens too, right? That happens too. So yeah, there's my thoughts on it. You guys, still, everybody who leaves their Sui wallet in the comments will get some gas fees and Rando is gonna get some extra Sui from me to you, right? To board you to Sui, or if you're there already, to add a little bit to your little baggios here and there, right? Whatever you want to buy. Just make sure you leave your wallet address in the comments, or else I'm not hunting you down, right? That's what I'm not hunting you
Yeah.
down. I'm not hunting you
You
down. You
forgot
got to leave it
something.
in the comments. You get some gas, right? So I'm ready to rip a
Yes.
protein shake.
Yes. It
But no,
can.
coach, what are your ideas? Is that enough of an answer for you?
No,
Long, a
it
long-winded one.
it's it's def it's an answer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got my answer. I just wanted to hear what's your sentiment about it. Because I've been joining all kinds of spaces and Sui, and I kind of know what's the sentiment in the market, but yeah, I'm not gonna touch that topic.
Well, look at
I think
Sui Booster.
I think you gave enough substance,
Sui
so I
Booster
appreciate
is
that.
another example of a bullish NFT project. So that's a completely
Yeah.
different style because
Oh, yeah.
the
It's
DAO
a
NFT
yes.
is a
Yeah,
utility.
exactly.
However,
Utility.
I
Yeah.
think it's extremely bullish because then it makes the user eligible for the airdropped distribution. So like that
So
was mhm,
regarding that, I think well, I personally I'm very numbers oriented.
right.
Yeah.
Sui Booster NFT is still not minted out
No. Yep.
after months and months.
Yep.
So when we go to those topics,
Yeah.
I'm just focusing on the numbers.
Yeah.
But
That's a
I'm
great
part of
point.
the DAO in there as well, so I'm
Yeah.
not gonna fight my own back.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you look at the utility and you understand. It's like you
No,
also
I
realize how
agree.
early we are. We're just so damn early. It's like
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
I
that's
think
true.
Low Sui Booster is so into the utility that you know, a lot of people are seeing NFTs still as trading cards, pictures, and they don't sometimes understand that utility, nor are they much interested in it.
Yeah.
And then so I think maybe as a project, it would be better to mind the artwork then a little bit more, right? Because that is going to be a huge minting point.
Well, retail doesn't come for the utility.
Exactly, right. We're like, yeah, well, you know, and I support anything on Sui, right? So especially if it's a hardworking team and stuff like that, I'm just willing to mint some and then some. I don't care, but retail doesn't. Yes, and so you got to watch where the community is at. If they're having a lot of fun in the TG, if they really start to become tight, if it becomes a group, right? If it becomes a movement, then NFTs will be a fun thing for the community, right? And it will be traded. And I guess we saw that a little bit with Walrus, right? A lot of people were. I still have some Walrus NFTs as well. I thought the art could be better. I think that the Board Toilet Club really hit the nail on the head with the art, right? Kind of looking like the deep gods, and so um, just taking a little bit from things and be like, yes, put that in there, and of course looking very different like Board Ape, because that's kind of like the parody spiel, and so you don't want to look alike, right? But you also want to share, rub a little bit of that sentiment. So I get it, and so it's a complete parody, and it's fun, and it's gotta fit, and then the amount has got to be right as well, you guys, because yeah, you cannot do a collection of 10K if you only have 2,000 people in your TG having a party, right? Because from these 2,000 people, maybe only 500 will actually mint, and then you're sitting with your collection of 10K.
Wow.
That is too much. So you got to adjust that as well. And so, yeah, it takes an NFT collection takes a lot more preparation stuff. But I think further down the line, when things get really, really happy on Sui, people are going to mint. People are going to wear it. And it's going to be a thing, right? So, yeah. NFTs are always follow the market a little bit. And Yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. If I would play an advisory role for a team, I would definitely wait till the sentiment for your token is right and the amount is right. And then based on that, you need to come up with a collection that makes sense, right? In the volume wise and the trades and also the things that people like. But you gotta like really vibe with that a little bit, right? You gotta pick up on words that your community is using, and I think that Board Toilet Club did really well having that let's fucking flush. I think that is something that they really said before, and they incorporated that. So that is these little quirks really exposed that you were listening to community, and I think that is important when you do an NFT as a follow up of a token. Yes.
Mm.
And then yeah, the utility for NFTs, there are going to be NFTs are just non-fungible tokens, right? So they can be used for everything and programmed for anything or coded for anything, right? And but a lot of people, I think 95% of the people in the crypto space are just yeah, trading the trades, trading the pictures, and that's fine too. That is completely legit. Just like a token can be just fun as a utility, it's just fun, right? It's making fun of something or it exposes something, right? Something hypocritical, and it just yeah, that is it's a narrative and a lore. Um, you can treat that too, and that's where I differ with very much clash with the opinion of utility maxis, especially the chain maxis. Right, I do think that fun and community is utility, can be seen as utility, just like a casino is utility as well. They make money too. You may not like it, you may love it, hate it, but you can trade it, and a lot of people are not seeing that, and that's because a lot of people from utility are saying that the meme coins are stripping them of their volume and that kind of BS. But a lot of people wouldn't have gotten into crypto through Bitcoin or through trading Ethereum, right? They gotten in through a meme coin, and so you could arguably bring it to the table like, look, they were not going to come anyways. These people were not going to hold crypto. So actually, this might be a good thing that we're boarding more people through meme tokens. Pepe had a huge role in boarding people to crypto. Huge. Shiba Inu, Doge, huge, right? More than I would argue more than Bitcoin, even though everybody in crypto, when you out on the streets, they know Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But how many people, if they know Bitcoin, but how many are actually buying Bitcoin, let alone DCA Bitcoin frequently? And it's that. So, uh,
Well, especially
yeah,
when you
I'm a
have
little bit on the.
potential upside with something like
Uh,
Pepe. It's like anyone that's if you're like new to it and you're like, oh well, how many X's can Bitcoin go up? And then it's like, oh well, how many X's can Pepe go up? And it's like,
yeah, well, it's
huh,
like, kind of like a gateway drug, right? What is your gateway drug? And then
yeah,
obviously these meme tokens do a better job.
for
It's
sure,
like, I mean, I didn't want to say it, but it is, and so
yeah.
yeah,
Pump Fun
other
is like a
people in the.
trap house. It's like a crack house. Pump Fun. It kind of
Yeah,
is.
Sui is my coke, but
Yeah.
it's like that, right? A lot of people do not know how to buy Bitcoin. They think it's complex, and when you mention blockchain technology, people feel intimidated by the word already because they think it's something that they couldn't possibly understand. And this is also because I've been in lots of spaces over the years doing technical analysis, talking about Bitcoin and technology. And then I was having fun spaces. Like now we're just, kind of shooting the breeze as well in between. And then I shifted towards the topics that I wanted to talk about with Bitcoin. And then suddenly 80% of the people were leaving my space. And then at one point I was like, all right, it's not these people, it's me. I'm doing something wrong. I'm bringing this wrong. And it's because we're using terminology in crypto that a lot of people don't understand. It's like a different language. And just because we are used to it doesn't mean that other people are. And you can
That's so
really make
true.
somebody else. Yes, you can make people feel dumb with the words that you are using, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to blockchain technology.
Yeah.
And people feel overwhelmed. And I was at one point I was like, I really get that, right? I really get that.
Hmm.
Because it's not rocket science by any means. It's actually very logical and easy, but the words that we're using are kind of keeping people away. And so these tokens like Pepe are a better gateway drug, right, for crypto, because it's fun. You just swap, no, I don't need to learn anything here. I don't need to feel inadequate. I can just be a part of this, right? And I don't feel an outsider. And that is kind of like Bitcoin is making people feel like an outsider sometimes.
Mm,
Well, if I can just add
Yeah.
in here,
yes.
I, if you look at what a meme itself means, it's really just an idea or a concept that has put into a funny form to make it into pop culture and into the masses. And BTC itself is also a bit of a meme, right? It's digital gold. It's a concept that mainstream or average person doesn't understand. We do because we've been here forever already, um, following this journey. But I think that's why memes are so well performing. There's just this truth and honesty in there. It is not trying to be anything else that it isn't. It's very simple,
Yeah.
very understandable.
Oh, I really agree with you on that one because that was the whole thing. Last bull run, there was a lot of DeFi tokens coming out, right, left and right, and they would all have some similar sort of utility that was not really usable utility or not really needed in the market, anyways. But people traded it because they wanted to make the access, and then were telling each other, yeah, this utility, that utility, and I was kind of sitting there like, all right, it's clearly, right. This is kind of a smart. We're in it for the quote unquote tech, right? It's like who is really in it for the tech, right? And so these meme coins were really kind of exposing the hypocrisy around that. That there still a lot of altcoins, right? A lot of utility coins, especially now with the AI narrative. I mean, same thing. You call yourself an AI token, you have like a little AI agent generator going on in your TG, and that's perfectly fine. But we can do that on Grok too. You don't need it, So it's kind of like a meme. Right? It's kind of like a smoke screen of utility there, a smoke screen of AI narrative. Um, that does have some essence of truth, but not really a whole lot of meat to the bone here. So these meme coins really expose that, right? A meme coin can just be traded just for being that meme, and we think it's funny. And so yeah, definitely. But yeah, on Sui too, I think the memes they really did a lot for Sui, Hippo, Axel, Nami, Blub. Anyway, they are the memes are up front, and because they're more. Viewable and a low threshold there for entry, and also we see them a lot more on X because memes are usually more loud than utility is. I mean, I don't see debug rating Gordon, right? That's fart token, right? And I don't see Walrus doing under one big KOL going like ape this, right? No. So the memes do have, I think, a lot of boarding function for chains. I do believe that. So we have
Right.
a. Oh yeah, go ahead, Coach. Respond.
Right, it's just the virality and the mindshare aspect of it. Like you brought out Deepbook. Deepbook will never have this kind of reach in crypto Twitter, like a Fartcoin has, just because it doesn't have that aspect. Like it's almost impossible to make it viral. How could you?
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah,
boring.
yeah. Well, yeah, but it has such a dense utility,
That's true, but
right?
this is
Yeah.
for a
So
different
it,
kind of
it doesn't need
investors.
to exactly. So it doesn't even need to have that virality issue, right? That's kind of memes need that because all you got is a meme, so you got to make it loud, right? You got to make it loud. And it's also that's why we see some memes not surviving because Elon stopped tweeting about it, right? And then
Yeah,
the
right.
meme itself
Gork.
is not right. It's
The
not
fuck happened to
powerful
Gork?
enough. Yeah, right. The meme itself is then not powerful enough to sustain. But yeah, you do recognize some, and people are always like, yeah, why Pepe? Well, Pepe was a big down culture meme
Yep.
for 10
4chan.
years
You look.
before. Yeah,
Yeah. If
4chan, right?
you.
So
Yeah. So that's the thing that you also being like a 4chan community member at one point
hmm
in the past. It's like when we came into meme coins, all of a sudden when you would see a familiar meme from 4chan, you're like, oh shit, like those are my
Yeah.
people. It's like that's my tribe again. Like I haven't
Yeah.
seen you guys in like
Well,
in like 10
yeah.
years, maybe here and there and a few other spots on the internet. But it was like when the meme coins
Even
started. Yeah.
though, funny enough, on 4chan, Bitcoin was at the time also being mentioned a lot. There was a lot of talk on 4chan about Bitcoin.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
so,
well, because
but
there's a lot of
yeah,
drugs, and the black market was fueled by
yeah,
Bitcoin, and that's
yes,
actually what kept the economy alive back in 2008 through 2010 when the U.S.
possibly,
economy was
yeah.
going under. It was if it wasn't for the black market and the Silk Road
Yeah,
and the dark web, the U.S. economy would have just like collapsed. But the black market kept it afloat, and Bitcoin
yep, yep.
kept it alive. When you break it down,
Shady
yeah,
money.
it's crazy.
But now, not more so. Bitcoin is institutional money only nowadays. I
Well, yep,
mean,
the
yeah,
script is flipped. Yes, it's funny how that
from
works. It's so
yeah,
crazy.
crazy. But I wanted to welcome H3 here because he's been sitting on stage, and I want to connect and say hello. Good morning.
Oh, hello, Wild. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Um, just to
Yo,
let you know, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm a little bit groggy.
Well, you kind of sound like Barry White.
Yeah, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of things.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think the big thing for me was what you just mentioned before about people not knowing, and I'm so green in this space, very, very green. And like you said, all the tech talk and everything else, it's so exciting, but I don't know what it all means. I don't even know what SUI does, right? But a few weeks ago, I sort of was browsing the feeds and came across one of the tokens that I bought, which was Fartcoin on SUI blockchain. And it caught my eye really because, I've never seen anything like that really. And the meme sort of caught my vibe, I guess. And I thought, all right, let's give this a shot. So I picked up a small position and joined the TG community to learn more. And right away, I was so impressed by the team. They're such a solid group of guys and marketers and I guess enthusiasts really who really know their stuff. And the big thing is they made me feel welcome. That was the big thing, and that got me involved in discussions and, about potential features and community growth. And it's been a journey. And we had a great couple of chats the other week. But overall, it's shown me how much fun a concept can foster a strong, supportive community. And I think that's what everybody's looking for, no matter what their knowledge is. So that's what I got out of that experience. So that was my little bit. Now, the other thing is, Wild, I love your animations. I love them. The little girls on the surfboard and all
they're
that. It's
incredible. Yeah,
so nice. They're so good.
Thank you
So
very much. Well, my daughter makes them, and I pay her in jasmine.
that's insane. That is so,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth, and I might go back to sleep now. So see you later.
Well, don't hesitate to join future spaces and more space. I appreciate you in the space. Everybody who's new in the space, um, to come into a community, and that's helpful. And I see this. This is
mm-hmm.
what I love about SUI because these all communities. I got to give love to and flowers to most, hands down, most of the communities on SUI are very informative, ready to share information, ready to make somebody else better. And whether that be learning about liquidity pools, whether that be learning about trading, whether that be learning about blockchain technology itself, or something like that, is just make each other just a little bit better. The other chains that I really spot that at in that high of a in high numbers is on Cardano. Right on Cardano, I know you guys maybe not be familiar with Cardano chain. That's where Cardano has always been kind of an island. It's kind of the island of nerds, is how I like to call it. Uh, Real nerds, but they're all kind of techie, right? And they're ready to explain things to each other, and they're always into it. And I know there's a lot of Cardano that moved to Sui or is cross chaining to Sui, like having both. And I think that's great. Because we need a little bit more education in the space. It is still institutional money is buying Bitcoin, sure, but for the rest of people who are just coming along, right? What are you gonna do in crypto? How are you gonna do this, right? What is your plan? what are the best strategies, um, risk managing, right? There's a lot of things because if you are just buying, normally, if you are investing in something like this, it's usually stocks. And what you're usually buying is like a portfolio already, right? Just like when you are investing in real estate, you might want to start with fractional investments, right? Buying in with a little bit of money and then all together. So it's kind of like a portfolio idea, and we don't have that in crypto. You just came in, you bought some fart coin, and now what, right? And I love that these things can be, these memes can be a platform for people if you landing in the right community in the right token, and the chances of you landing in the right community in the right token are more so on Sui than I see any. It's something you don't see on Solana. Even I don't want to talk about Solana in this space because some people might understand me wrong. I'm not a chain maxi. I'm holding this space for Sui, and I do put Sui in the spotlight because I think it will be the golden child for this bull run. I think it's going to be the blessed one. And that is just not sentiment or feels. That's just based on the tech of Sui itself, right? It is right now the fastest one. It did solve some problems that we had before, and that is something that is inevitably going to happen in any industry, in any field. There's innovation, and crypto also needs that innovation for us to be adaptive in the world, right? And so we need something. And I think arguably, I think everybody should know maybe a little bit about what Bitcoin is and how it's this scarcity asset, just for you to determine how bullish it is and what it can do and bring for you in your life, right? I think that that is kind of a must. However, the other technology on other chains, yes and no. A lot of people are using Swift, and I know when I say Swift, a lot of people might, there might be a big bell ringing, and other people go like, I have no clue. But you're using it probably daily, and you don't know that you're using it, and that eventually will happen with something like Sui as well. In fact, the team has been very transparent about these things. That is their goal, to have people use Sui without them knowing they're using Sui. And there's other blockchains already, like Injective, doing that for the financial industry, the financial DeFi, right? People are using Injective without knowing they're using Injective, right? Businesses are using it without knowing it, that they're using it. So, uh, do you need to know everything? No. But I do implore you guys to at least watch a documentary on Satoshi and why Bitcoin was made and what it does. I think that is just going to be helpful in your perspective on crypto as a whole and what it can do for you in your life and your legacy, right? So I think that is important. I think the rest is just if you feel like it, you have interest, definitely, because we need a lot more builders in this space in crypto and coming in the future for real, right? I think Sui is doing a great job there too, you guys, because they are really backing the builders here, and they kind of need to, because if there's nobody building on their chain, there's no transactions, right? So they kind of need to, but they're doing also a very good job because they are working with a different language. It's called Sui Move, so it's non-EVM compatible. That's why we're saying, it's the first IBTC non-EVM chain to join all that party. And so, but yeah, if you are, or somebody in real life that wants to have a career somewhere, then developing with Sui Move or any other code language on other chains, there's a constant need for developers. So if you know somebody, they could use a job. There is, these blockchains are really asking for developers. So you may want to tip them off, right? Tip them off. I saw somebody else coming on stage, but then left. All right. I'm
Womp
not
womp.
sure. Wah, wah, wah. Well, again, everybody gets some gas. So if you just hooked up or pulled up in this space, leave your SUI address. We're gonna, after this space, we're gonna make sure you get some gas, and one lucky one will get some extra SUI for you to play around with. So go ahead and leave your SUI address here. We're just gonna do that in every SUI space from now on. I think that's a lot of fun to do, right? So you're gonna get some gas, some fart coin. because I think it's bullish. If you want to come up and have a chat with us, then you're more than welcome to. Tick, you got anything else going on that you want to
Um,
show?
let me see. So nothing out of the ordinary. Um, yeah, I'm with the market moving sideways and everything. I kind of just try to
Yeah.
stay still. I'd put like $30 into a liquidity pool and then made a really tight range to see what it would do because the APR is like 5,000%, and so and I don't think it's gonna stay in the
Risky.
range very long. It's like 3% either direction or less, I think. So it's a very tight range. So when it goes to the top, when the price of Fartcoin goes up, let me see, so, which currently it is, and then once it falls out of range, it will convert all of my Fartcoin into SUI. Isn't that correct? Or
Hold on,
or am I
I was
not
trying to
understanding it correct? Because I'm doing
grab it.
single-sided liquidity. I only added
Maybe
fart.
I was gonna do a LFF.
Mm,
Tinkle
uh,
tinkle. But maybe Coach can answer you quickly while I really need to tinkle tinkle.
uh,
Toilet time.
no
Yeah. So,
worries.
what's the question?
So adding single-sided liquidity on turbos once the price of Fartcoin goes up and my liquidity pool is no longer in range, does it convert it converts all of the Fartcoin that was in the pool into SUI? Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
so at the end, so as it goes up, and so whatever position I had in Fartcoin, then with whatever money was in the liquidity pool. So if it was my entire, let's say the
Yes.
all of the, then I would no longer have a position with the Fartcoin at all, right?
That is right.
Yeah, so that's
That is
why I got
correct.
scared initially, and I'm glad that I did. And I pulled my fart coin out before it ripped like crazy.
So,
Otherwise, I would have.
so, yeah, that's the thing with
Right.
setting those tight ranges.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and
you
Wild warned
better
me.
than better than act fast. But
Jesus.
I would set this.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I didn't follow a conversation. Right, so feel leaves. I needed a restroom break.
No worries.
Ah,
Yeah. So one strategy that I recommend
Yeah.
using everybody who's in the space, because like most people don't know how liquidity pools work and especially how concentrated liquidity pool works. So once you set this range, and I wouldn't recommend setting it like a very tight range. My own range is
Right.
usually 50 to 200%, depending on how much liquidity we have or
Uh
volume
huh.
we have coming in. But what I recommend to doing is that set this range a bit wider, and now you know already about charting a bit. So I would pull out the liquidity at the top of the chart.
Mm-hmm.
So you see when it starts coming close to the previous top, I would pull out the liquidity. Would pull out Fartcoin plus SUI. So what has converted into SUI will come out as it is, and Fartcoin that is left is coming out as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So now, because what goes up must come down, right? Somebody is gonna cheat the top,
Yeah.
and then
I
you can
see.
just you can just get something with a cheaper price, right?
Right.
So I would use that SUI that you just pulled out
Mm-hmm.
to
By
buy
the
the
dip.
bottom.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And this concentrated liquidity pool, this is I just made a post from my ex. This is the secret behind our
Mm-hmm.
success. This
Mm-hmm.
is why we came this far,
Mm-hmm.
because people are getting educated in the whale chat how to use those pools, how to
Mm-hmm.
maximize your gains
Mm-hmm.
within this and really I think we do need a lot more education in this
That's
space for people
that's
to
why I
understand how
asked.
to keep your project healthy, how to
Yeah.
keep your chart healthy, because clipping and taking your profits like that,
Right.
this ain't gonna help anyone,
Right. Yeah.
like
Price
in the
impact.
end of the day. in the end of the day, when we, for example, when we look at the trenches, really like trenches on Sui, then very rarely any of the projects reaches 100K. But like, how much money are we all making then? This is pennies, like, and that doesn't help the whole ecosystem forward. And yeah, like ever since I came to Sui, and once the Cetus hack happened, and everybody started to go down, like the state of the trenches turned completely crazy. People were clipping those charts for a couple of Sui profits, and this is not healthy. Nobody's making money. If you're the clipper, you aren't making any, and then
Yeah.
there is no trust in the space, and then building this trust, it takes months and months and months before people actually can have this hodl culture.
Yeah. Plus,
Hopefully,
plus, when you clip, you're not getting that price for every token you have.
right,
You are
because of the
actually
slippage,
shitting on
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
because you're taking a price impact, right?
Yeah.
So,
right? And when
yeah,
you take your profits in a healthy manner, in this concentrated liquidity pool, you have zero slippage in there. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that price for every token that you have, rock solid, right? That is absolutely the way to go,
Yeah.
right? To
And
to
if
maximize.
it's
Yeah.
1% and you're doing it on like $500, we're talking $5 here.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
And
it's usually not under 100K or under even a few million. Clipping like that is usually having a price impact of 10-20%. So it is actually worse
so
than
yeah,
just,
so if it's
yeah,
15%, let's say it's 15% on your on a $500, that's
yeah,
60 it's like, yeah, $75.
yeah,
You are like, think about that, like once you start doing the math like that, because if you're moving around enough money to be making a profit, and then you're having those fees and those that slippage and all this impacting your profit, yeah, just like you're saying, you're just shitting on yourself, and it's like you're just
sure.
wasting your time.
Also,
It's
yeah,
literally.
and also if you are selling just half the bag, but that's the
Yeah.
clip already, you're now dragging your other what you have left too,
Yeah.
right? Because you're possibly going to create some panic on the chart, and
Mm-hmm.
then your other tokens that were up in profit are now just completely washed too, and you gotta then wait again. So either you're gonna have to sell into volume little by little and minimizing price impact, or the easiest thing you can do is yes, pull it, so you don't have that headache, right?
But
And
yeah, but that's why
yeah,
I asked though, is because in order to not get wrecked. So like Coach was saying, is watch the chart when you see that you're due for a reversal, or pull half out, pull half of the balance out, do SUI, do remove liquidity, do SUI and fart coin, pull out half of it, so that you can navigate it. Applying that strategy, that's kind of why I asked, is because I could kind of see in, like, that's why I put $30 into this little pool, because I kind of wanted to practice with like a smaller amount of money before, because I had like $400 in there, not knowing what the hell I was doing at all, and I was kind of like getting nervous, because I was like, dude, if it rallies and I don't have my fart coin in my wallet, then I'm not going to be able to take advantage of taking any profit or anything. And so I ended up pulling it all out, and that was right before it went to 800. So like, I'm glad that I did that, but I wanted to know, well, how can
yeah, you're out of range.
yeah, how can I? Yeah, well, I was out of range. Well, I removed my liquidity before it rallied. So luckily I did that, because you warned me that, like, if it rallies and it's tied up in the liquidity pool or whatever, it will go out of range, and then I no longer have that position. And that's what
Yeah.
I was scared of. And that's why I bring this up, because this is extremely important. I don't know if this is common sense for everyone, but for me, I didn't fully wrap my head around it at first, because I was trying to figure out, I was more concerned with a lot of other things, and especially, let me try to get my APR up or whatever. And not focusing on, like, what happens
Yes,
when it.
yes. So I hear you mention now a few things, and there are gonna be people in the space going like, I don't know what you're talking about, right? We're talking about liquidity pools and how to you can buy and sell through liquidity pools, right? And you can
Mm-hmm.
also earn a fee through adding that liquidity.
And just
Uh,
want to add here that when
yep.
you do that through a liquidity pool, you are not affecting the chart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to know whether you took your profits, whether you
Exactly.
sold, or what is
Yes.
going on in
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Yes.
So, it's just for the health of the project, you know.
Absolutely right, and I think that especially if you see big candles from teams, yeah, you're not working with anybody who's knowledgeable about this. Usually, professional teams that know their shit are willing to share that information with you too, right? Because at one point you got to take profits, but then do it this way, so it's a win-win situation. There's nobody needing to trash the chart, especially if it's your own project. Get to be knowledgeable in a hurry then, because your chart is the number one marketing tool you got. If your chart looks utterly wrecked, and this is why CTOs have such a hard time, because it's really hard to sell a floor, right? That low, when you see a big retracement coming on away all 90% down, it looks like a rug, right? Possibly it was one, and so your chart needs to stay healthy and good looking, right? Or you got to have something so bullish that could pick it up again, like a ticker that is immensely bullish, or what else you got going on. But usually, 95% of the time, when the chart doesn't look good, it's a hard sell. People like a bullish chart, and yeah, I mean, rightfully so. If you buy an NFT, it needs to be bullish art, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so the chart is the number one marketing tool, and look, that's why I'm bullish on Farcoin on Sui. I think that has tremendous upside potential, um, for all the reasons that are pretty obvious. But yeah, I post a chart also because I know that my following likes to look at charts because they're traders. So the first thing when I mention a ticker is like, oh, can you pull up the chart, right? And so you got to stick a bullish chart. You got to stick it to everybody. I mean, look, right? And if you look at Farcoin right now, it's ready for the next leg up and then possibly touching that million. But it doesn't look like that if you're back on the floor at 30K again or something, right? I just, that is, yeah, that's a hard sell right there. So that's why I'm a little less bullish on CTOs. For that reason, it's going to take a long time and a lot of um, grit. And depending on where we are in the cycle, that's going to be hard, right? Especially in the bear market, people are looking to exit the trades, not enter trades mostly there. So yeah, there's that. You guys, if you want to hop in that TG of Farcoin and get a little bit of education, I think the Def is doing a great job there. Also posting a YouTube video on how to do that liquidity because it's very easy. It looks when you listen to it, it's very daunting. I know it can be very daunting, but there is basically like a walkthrough, right, taking you by the hand on how to do it. And then when you know how to do it, you can then utilize that in other projects as well, right? So yeah, go ahead and jump in that TG. It's actually a pretty fun TG. I've never been so much. I stay clear of being active in TGs, but I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that I like to come back to the Fartcoin TG
Same.
just a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the
I
only ones I
if
like.
I can just add in here,
Yep.
regarding it being daunting, well, we're very transparent. If you join our TG and you have any questions, you can just DM me, and we can have a call. You know, we can just walk you through it, because transparency is the key. And I would just love this whole space to be more safe. Like
Yes.
I've already been in chats with different developers from different projects and teaching them what I have learned within this process about liquidity pools and how to keep your chart and your community healthy.
Yeah. So here's why, right? Because it used to be that the developer, the dev. not the founder, because these are two really two different things, right? You're either a developer, that means you're building something, possibly you build your own contract, and you know how liquidity pools work, because when you need to deploy your own contract, you need to add liquidity, right? Or else your token is not live. So, but yeah, all these launch pads, you guys, they are you don't have to know, right? You go to Launchpad and launch it. So there's a ton of tokens out there that are made by just creators and not developers, and they may not know, right? And very bullish that we got a dev here that is actually a builder. Clearly, and so that is the difference here between back then and now. There's a big difference because it's kind of a given that when you launch your own and you build your own project and you launch it, that whole liquidity thing is kind of like you need to know, um, or else you cannot get your token live. So you better do your homework there, and so you need to learn all that. But yeah, Launchpad takes that away. And these people are not developers by any means; they are creators. Anybody, you can create a token, right? So that makes you a creator, and so they may not know, and yeah, it's not bullish for long term, right? Because to keep it sustainable, these things really are a good tool. And so, yeah, I just cheer on in the Fartcoin community here in the TG on Sui. Go ahead and join it. And like you said, if you have questions, right, there's help there. And I'm just all about that, right? I'm all about, because we gotta lift each other up and make each other better, because we there is a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation here that we can create. It can be done, right? So other than popular belief that it always has to be P2P, that's actually not true, right? Not true. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Oh, I see. I got a little complaining going on here with birds. Shall we just not do that? While I'm in space and having a mic open, bearish birds. Yeah, yeah. I see Bitcoin is pumping, you guys. Bitcoin is doing a little pumpy. We're gonna pump straight back to that resistance zone that we got now at the previous all-time high that we printed, right? At 122, 123.1 on the Binance chart at least. I think it hit 123 on every chart. Um, uh, that is Tether paired. So yeah, I see Bitcoin is wanting to make a move there too, at least getting to a bull flag up there before there's another breakout. So hold your horses on. We're going from here to 130K. Could be, but usually no. Because it's institutional money moving, right? We see a little bit more of smaller movements happening, smaller uppies, sideways, smaller uppies, these staircase things that Bitcoin does, right? That is institutional money moving. If you want to see parabolic movements in Bitcoin, that is retail, right? And so just know that while you're seeing all this and no parabolic moves yet, although I do expect that at the end of the year, if we're still believing that 4 year cycle, then we have that. And then when there is an extension to the 174 for Bitcoin, right, that it reached 2 times in history, or I should say, all of the bull runs we hit that extension. There was 2 bull runs when we actually went into the golden pocket, and that was the first 2 bull runs we did. The last bull run that we did not, and but that golden pocket extension, based on the recent movement in of this year in Bitcoin, that one actually sits at 540 something. So is Bitcoin going to go there this bull run? Well, it did twice before reach that pocket, but I think we need to go like extra parabolic and possibly prolonged bull run, bull cycle. And that just also means that your all rally will be prolonged too, because the all rally is the thing that is happening when Bitcoin, because parabolic moves for retail, right? Long-term holders are selling out and are going to be rolling over into the rest of crypto, and that's kind of where we're watching that dominance for, right? A little uppy for extra for Sui. We got XRP absolutely ripping against the market here a little bit too. Um, uh, I see Deep being up 8 to 8.4%. The book on
No way.
Sui. Yes, ridiculous. Yes,
Oh,
cheer
what?
on my back
It
here.
was at 19 cents. Where is it at
Yeah, it's now
now?
20,
Oh, okay.
20, and it just confirmed a breakout there, you guys. So
Mm.
go up, touch the 23, possibly haul on to 23. Retest then that 20 cent, because the 20 cent will then need to act as support for another leg up there. And Deep Book is very much believing that Sui is going to rally, and I believe that Sui is going for a big upseas here. Some say even 400%. Yes, it can, right? Depending on the rest of the bullishness in the market. Um, yes, my uh, goals for SUI are very clear. Also had, like I said, massive breakout, so it's no surprise that utility tokens are breaking out and are allowed to run in the ecosystem as well. Walrus is doing now a little bit of a cool down because that was hauling yesterday, pretty much rounding up that bottom. You guys, on the 4th hour daily, look at Walrus rounding up the bottom, round bottoms, around. Tushy there is always bullish. Round tops, bearish. Round bottoms, bullish. You guys, that indicates volatility coming in. Still in kind of a DCA range. That was my DCA range here. It kind of still is. Right, but also almost confirmed a breakout here. Need to retest that support on that 40 44 is the support here. Possibly a little wick in there and go. And all these utility plays on Sui are just in telling me they are believing Sui is about to rally. And then I look at Sui because they believe Sui. They're not going to rally without Sui, right? They can't rally without volume. So they believe Sui, looking very believable. And so yes, right. Sui, I think, is going to outperform the rest of the market for a little bit in the coming 2 months here. And then when it hits in price discovery, it is going to be in price discovery with Bitcoin, which means that we have blue skies, right? And all go. And I think that is going to be stealing the show. So we did that last year exactly the same. And the last one to actually do that convincingly in the same time in the market was Solana, right? Golden child of the last one. And so, yeah, just to get ready for all of that fun that we're going to have on the water chain. I just think that sui is meaning water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're because I've been learning me some Mandarin. Actually, it's sui. Sui is water. Iba sui. So it's not sui, but hey, who cares, right? We're calling it sui anyway. Sui, 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 sui. Sui anyway. Who cares? So yeah. So what we went over, yes, the ecosystem of sui. Would you like me to explain some more technicals on how? I don't think we just do that every week, right? We hold a Sui space every week. I'll be in UK Queen space tomorrow with Crypto Empress and a lot of other bullish girls at crypto and girls on Sui, women on Sui. We're not girls anymore.
Hmm.
The women, we are techie women on Sui, and no, I love it, right? And we're gonna do a space tomorrow, and I'm gonna, of course, be there and show my support for Sui in this way as well. And I cannot wait for Lurky to come up with the summarization of this space because I was top KOL for Sui for a little bit there. That is so funny.
That's crazy. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just because I am the one who talks about Sui the most in spaces. That is funny.
Yeah. Well, and for anyone that doesn't know, Lurky is an
Oh
AI
yes.
agent that monitors these spaces and looks for keywords that people are talking about. So basically, it's an audit for KOLs and to see which projects they're talking about the most. And so, yeah, it's funny because Wilder wound up as one of the most influential spokespersons for Sui Network. So,
Which
yeah.
is crazy because we're just holding. I used to be in a lot more Sui spaces, but I kind of not because we have this daily space going on, and of course I'm right now full time Web3. You guys, if you know me from before, I had a gym, I'm a professional athlete, right? And I just since the 1st of July, I went just full time trading, right? Full time trader, full time future trader, and so yes, I'm not in spaces a whole lot anymore because now I actually got to be putting my time into making the trades, right? Because or else it's going to be there's gonna be no food on this table. No, that's not true. There will be some food on this table. Some oatmeal, because we gotta buy Bitcoin. Yes, coach.
Yeah, I have a keyword. Fartcoin,
Yes,
fartcoin, fartcoin, fartcoin,
Fartcoin.
fartcoin, fartcoin,
Yes,
fartcoin.
coach.
Oh
Just
yeah,
had to do it.
did I tell you guys
Yes,
about Fartcoin? It's Fartcoin on Sui. So the ticker is
yes.
Fartcoin.
Fartcoin. Sui.
Yep,
Sui
exactly.
Fartcoin. Fartcoin Sui. Yes. Oh, we can name Fartcoin on Solana as well and Fartcoin on Base. I mean, gotta gotta toss that in the salad.
Dude, I've been cranking out images though. I've been making images, videos, and
Yes.
not all of them are turning out great. I don't know what the hell's going on with AI. I don't know if XAI Grok has stolen all the compute from the rest of the world because all
Yes.
the AI models now are like 30% dumber. Like they're just, or maybe my prompting's gotten, 30% worse. But I don't think I was like on a roll where I was like getting better and better and better the results of
Wow.
what I was creating. And then all of a sudden, this last like 3 days, it's like I keep trying and I'll step away from it and I'm like not trying to force it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? It could be. It also has to do with the words and the input that you use. And so Fartcoin alone might just be kind of confusing for the AI model because it kind of doesn't know what to create. Because I know for
Yes.
myself when I'm like, okay, a Fartcoin meme, how am I going to do this? It's not as easy to paint a picture in your head of like where you
No.
can go. Like when we had 1000x, it was like the ideas just would come, like it was just so obvious that you can just 1000x anything.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard with the AI because I noticed too. Because I was kind of asking, like, "Hey, can you prompt me something?" Where because there's this GIF that I like about that woman just moving to the side and just let some wind out on the water,
Oh yes,
and
yes.
and I was like, "Oh my god, I want my avatar to do that," but AI wasn't jiving with any of this, and that's crazy
Yeah.
because
That's what
we
I'm
don't have the
thinking.
words
That's what I'm
because you cannot
thinking.
say fart in AI and
Yeah, yeah.
doing it right.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's wrong. I think
That's
AI
stupid.
should yeah, it's stupid,
It's
right?
like
Because
grow
how
up
are you
AI.
even yeah, right?
Just kidding.
Because when you say gas, right, it turns it into
Yeah,
like if it's
yeah.
a gas station there or something like it
Yeah.
just gives it a different meaning. So
Flatulence.
AI
Use
should not be a prude, right? This
Yeah.
way,
I wonder if you
we
use the
all
word flatulent,
yeah.
if that might be a nice workaround since it's more of like a refined word. That's some
Well,
food for
we
thought.
use the
That's
same
I'm gonna try that
look.
out.
Uh,
Some alpha.
there's it's something we all do. It's just not something we like to talk about, right?
Hey,
That's
speak for
why we do it.
yourself. I have
Well,
never. I'm just kidding.
you,
Uh,
you guys, you wanna hear something funny? I was dating.
I used to
Yeah.
do that to people. Oh, go ahead. I want to hear your story.
So I was dating someone, and he was staying over at my apartment in Amsterdam, and I needed to go to work in the morning, and so I was just like in the morning taking my time. I was kind of running a little bit late, and he was just like, "When are you going to work? When are you going to work?" And I was like, "Well, I still have 5 minutes. I'm good, right?" And so I walk on my way to work, and I had to go back because I forgot the keys to the office, and so I had to go back, and it took a while for him to open the door. And then I came in, it was really, the place was really smelling. He was so embarrassed because he was kind of holding it all in until I left.
Oh my
But I had
God.
to come back, and it was just hilarious.
Oh,
I
poor
was like,
guy.
"Oh my god!" And yeah, he was kind of so embarrassed because he just not held it in for that day, but he was kind of with me the whole weekend. And so, yeah, So I was like, I don't know what you did, but the plunger is in the, in the kitchen sink cabinet. And I'll just get out of here and talk to you later.
Oh my
But
god.
that was kind of funny and embarrassing. Yeah, yeah. So we have Dump the Fat on stage now. I know Dump the Fat is on Solana chain, but look, anybody who does exercise and is trying to make something and make content out of that, trying to start a little bit of a health regime, you got my support. Good morning, Dump the
Hey
Fat.
guys. Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hey Tick, hey Wild.
Hi,
Nice
Hey,
to talk
hey.
to you
GM.
again. Yeah, I was doubling in asking for speak because I saw this Sui special. So I don't
Yeah.
know if you only want Sui coins in here or
Yes, on Sui we do only Sui, but like I said before, right? I'm cheering you on. I'm cheering anybody on who, in whichever which way, wants to start exercising and be a little bit better than before. But yeah, so I'm gonna let you up on stage and give a little shill, not too long, right? Not too long.
nice, nice. Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to just so the space wanted to come here to share what I was working during these days since I talked I think on Tuesday here. I think I got your recommendation. I updated the logo, and now it's digital. It's not like a hand draw anymore. And also, for the guys that don't know the project, this is an exercise meme coin where the lore behind is that I've been pumping the fat for the last 2 years and now it's time to dump it. That's why I'm making this. I'm making everyday stream showing my workout, but I also got your recommendation about showing more value. So I've started making some motivational posts. Also, I'm going to start with content creation, videos of how to make exercises, how to weight your how to size your progress and things like that. And also, a stream is not anymore about just making push-ups. Now I'm building in a stream. Last Yesterday, I made a stream showing how I'm designing the website. Today I will keep designing the website in live, and then I'm going to develop it in live. As I'm also a developer, and well, I'm like splitting the live stream now. The first part is to talk with community and build in live, and the second part is showing the workout. And the 1 million push-ups challenge was reduced to 10,000 because I realized that making 300 push-ups a day will take me 9 years to complete the challenge. So
Yes. Not only that, my guy, but listen, here's the thing with these challenges. I would even reduce it a little bit more because um, the more you do an exercise in higher rep range, the more it's going to cost your form, and so you are going to be exposed to injury. And if there's anything you want to avoid in your workouts is injury, right? Because you want to kind of do it again the next day or 2 days later, right? So if you're injured, you can't. So you really got to the risk manage yourself a little bit there, especially when you do these challenges. Usually, after a while, people, when you do push up challenges, people, their shoulders will start to hurt, like the front delts or something like that. And that is just because you're not paying attention anymore to form after a certain amount of reps. So we all know that, and that's why CrossFit is kind of being frowned upon, because it's these compound movements in a higher rep range. And if you do that with deadlift, yeah, your back is going to hurt. If you are not paying attention to your form, you are going to have an extremely hurty in your back and think you have a hernia. Uh,
yeah,
so much pain. So
yes.
yeah, so you got to maybe be a little bit more sensible. But really, I really applaud you for taking this to the next step. I hope that people that are plugging into you and tuning into you are people that need it, right? And so yes, I can do nothing but celebrate anybody who wants to step into that space and do that. It takes a lot of courage to do, you yourself, but you have a lot to teach people, even though you may think you're not, right? Just taking them on the journey with you can be extremely inspiring for people. And so keep doing that, right? Keep being a example like that. I want to move to Coach. Coach, you have your hand up, and I'm gonna then after that welcome Brian. Yes, Coach.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents to Dump the Fat. Huge up to you, bro. I'm an ex bodybuilder myself. That's I think why I vibe with Wild so much. But I would recommend you to switch from a push up challenge to a full body workout or upper body lower body split, because you're doing it every single day, and you're just gonna exhaust your one or well upper body muscle groups, and it's not sustainable, and
An
I
injury.
think
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and I think it's a lot more interactive also when you have their full body, and education wise also for yourself and for the viewers there. It makes a lot more sense when
Absolutely.
you just incorporate everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it was like that at the start. At the beginning, I was just make a crazy challenge and let's see if I could complete it.
Yeah.
Right now, I have already thought about it, and now I'm just showing workout, complete body workout. I take that, and now the challenge I've like moved it on a side to ask the people, okay, guys, if you want to see me doing this challenge, you have to buy. So that's why
Well,
I
here's maybe an idea for you, right? So this just hit my soul. Because when I had my gym, I just opened just before Corona hit, which was like, yes, bingo, right? What I did a lot with online content, I did a lot of 30-day hards, right? So a 30-day hard is going to be three things that you're going to do every day repetitively, and it's going to be in different areas in your life, right? So it's going to be a workout and then a walk in the afternoon. These things come as a must. You're going to read a few pages of a book, and you're going to mind what you eat, right? So that, and then do that 30-day hard is then the challenge. And what you can do is like, okay, everybody can sign up for this 30-day hard, and then the people, what you can do is also, if your token is traded, I don't know what your token looks like, so I'm just gonna maybe indeed learn how to do these liquidity pools, and then hand out some rewards to the people who executed that 30-day hard with you, and have them have some progress pictures underneath your post, right? So there's a few things that they then got to do. Maybe you could set it up something like that, right? And that 30-day hard, you can do whichever workout then, because just like coach has said, doing the same exercise every day is going to fatigue these areas. And usually what happens, especially with pull up and push up challenges, because these are not leg muscles, these are tiny muscles, right, that all need to work together in comparison to legs. You are going to get some sort of backlash from that, and that can be actually pretty severe until it starts to inflame your joints and stuff. So because you're irritating the whole area over and over again. There's something in when you're a professional athlete too, and it's kind of like the first advice that you get when you're in training and when you're prepping for competition. The first thing that a coach will and a trainer will address with you is your sleep, because that's where the real magic happens, right? Your sleep. You should have a good sleep hygiene routine, or nothing is gonna work. And so when your body is inflamed, that kind of messes with your cortisol rising these levels, right? And that's gonna also keep you up at night. It's gonna also prevent any fat loss, right, when you're inflamed in your body like that. So these challenges, I really would stay clear of that. I know people like to do them, but then do it like a 30-day hard. Then we'll do like a few things to tackle a few things in your life at the same time, right? One weighted exercise, a resistance training, an hour walk, right, and minding the diet, post what you eat, and also maybe read a book and go to bed on time, right? And that doing that for 30 days is going to be hard. That's why they call it 30-day hard. And so, but you will have results at the end of that, and then maybe take people on that journey, right? So you can, and then you also have content about other things, about the food, about the stuff that you're reading, about the good sleep that you're getting. And that is very helpful for people who are just starting that journey. Because when you start out this journey, you kind of want to go all out, and you kind of have the feeling like you need to go all out, but that kind of can bite you in the ass and not lead you to the results that you were actually looking for, right?
Good, good. I'll take that. I take
Yes.
that. Thank
Take it.
you.
Take it. Take it. I want to
Um,
welcome
Oh,
Brian here.
Real
Yeah.
quick, DTF, I got you a little gift um, because I'm so proud of the progress that you've made with the project. And so I'm posting it right now on your post from 3 hours ago. I don't know if you can see it on the Jumbotron, but it's your logo, your new logo that you made, but it's the token rotating in 3 dimensions. So it's spinning in place, and so it's an MP4 file that I went ahead and I just uploaded it onto your thing. So I hope you like that.
I love it. I love it, Tick, right? Yes. And of course, Dump the Fat, you're always welcome in my spaces, right? If there's anything we can do to help you get better. And I'm going to pay attention to your content a little too. And just keep inspiring people this way and keep working because you get better and better every day, right? In everything that you do. So also for your token.
Thank
So,
you, guys.
yeah,
Thank
you're
you. Tic.
more welcome. Get after it. Yes. Brian, how are you doing? Good morning, Brian. I'm just going to say good morning to everybody in the space. I don't care what time it is. Let's go.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. For me, I'm doing well. I'm actually driving back from Austin, Texas, up to Dallas to fly back home to Chicago tonight, and I was on a business trip out here this week. So met a lot of great people. Had a dinner with headed the Alpha Growth Division over at Uniswap. So that went very well. Just networking, connecting, building, and I like that you guys are talking about the working out and whatnot, because it's something that I've been focusing on recently, and I've always been in the gym or at home on my Peloton, kind of taking care of myself. But lately, I've really been focusing on what I believe is the biggest key to unlocking literally everything when it comes to sleep, when it comes to your workouts, when it comes to just feeling better, and that's simply diet, guys. You are literally a car. You need clean fuel. If you put that clean fuel in and you cut back on the impurities, the alcohol, the artificial ingredients, all the simple carbs that are out there, not only do you perform better, you feel better, and you sleep better. It starts this chain reaction. And I'm going to be honest with you, too. You can still eat a lot of good food. There is still plenty of times, treat yourself to a nice meal out, a steak dinner, all these different things. Just cut out all the junk, the simple carbs, the processed foods, cut back on the snacks and cut back down on the alcohol, the beer. When I'm really into it, I stick to, like, if I'm going to have a drink, I do a clear liquor. I do like a vodka and tonic or vodka and soda, something like, not tonic because that got sugar in it, but vodka, water, things like that. And I've noticed it just starts this chain reaction and you just feel good. So that's my biggest recommendation. And then the workout, I'm older, I'm 40, so I take it easy.
Sure, but look, this is the thing. Like, strong is the new fit. It's not the amount of fat that you carry around, right, that keeps you from aging to old age. It's actually the amount of muscle. And I'm not talking that you need to be a bodybuilder. I'm just talking your posterior chain muscle, your skeletal muscles, right? Why are these so important? Because they keep you up straight. And when you can walk and stand up and be mobile, that's indicative of older age, right? So, and of course, people worry about the fat. I think they worry about the fat a little too much. Start focusing on building muscle, and then that fat loss will just follow up on that, right? And sometimes it's the focus. I see a lot with women that are under eating severely while they want a big ass and a tiny waist, and it's just not going to work. Especially if you're under eating for years and years. Sometimes we kind of need to, open some eyes there and get some more calories in there, and then suddenly, by having the focus on, for women, it's hard to build muscle. It's harder for women than it is for men, and so focus on that muscle makes them having a more healthier view of their own body, right? And they are actually getting the changes that they wanted, right? Because a lot of women, and if you're a girl and you're listening, right, uh, stop looking at the scale. That number doesn't say anything, right? It doesn't say anything because I kind of want to be the heaviest that I can be, but then with a lot of muscle. And a lot of women are just, and I see men doing the same thing, by the way, right? They are severely, they go like, oh, I need to have that beach body, and then they go to extremes, start under eating, and it's not helpful at all. And you're going to look dreadful because you're just going to look what we call skinny fat, right? You're still going to have wiggle jiggle all over the place, but you're now looking a little bit tinier than you did before, but kind of the same when it comes to the firmness of your body. And that's because you haven't focused on making any muscle. And if you're going too low in your diet for too long, your body will start eating muscle and not build muscle at all, right? Before it ever gets to the fat. So that's why these things don't work. Focus on making muscle, you guys, and eat well. And I always say 80% rule. So get your food as close to the source as possible is the best strategy for all of this. So if I buy meat, I'm gonna try and get it as close to the source as possible. And if I live in a city like I do, right, and you do too, maybe. If you live in farm area, this should be easy peasy. But if you're not, then now you can order it online and have it frozen straight from the farm, right? Don't buy it in a plastic thingy in the supermarket with everything attached to it. No need to. It might be costing the same or a little bit more. For me, it's kind of the same, right? Because the prices in the supermarket are ridiculous too for what you get. And so you get some quality there. And if you want vegetables and you can't go to the farm, again, you can go to a farmer's market, or you can get it online and more fresh. You don't need to grow your own. I know it's not for a lot of people in the city. This is not, sustainable or doable to begin with. But then just try and buy the things that you're eating as close to the source as possible. And then at one point, you notice that you're going to spend less and less money in the supermarket. And basically, the only things that you're going to buy in the supermarket, maybe some laundry detergent and some other things, right? Um, that you cannot get from all of these other things. But my milk comes from the cows, right? Straight from the farm. My chickens, I drive there once a month and just actually pick out my chickens, and they are going to be on the spot prepared for me, and then I'll freeze them in. I'll get my eggs there too and stuff, right? That makes sense for me. But go ahead and you can just tackle one thing every month to make that better. So if you're eating some chicken, all right, where in my area can I get some good chicken, right, from a farm? Or do I need to order it online? Go investigate, right, and then fix that. And then next would be your other meats, maybe, right? And your milk and your stuff and cheese and that kind of. So tackle it one by one, and at one point you notice that your grocery bill is actually stabilized this way, because when you go to the supermarket you tend to buy a lot of stuff that you absolutely do not need. You end up overspending. So this is actually kind of really good for budgeting as well, while you're eating more healthy and better. Now, maybe you feel like, your pasta, you don't want to make it yourself. That's okay, right? That's at 20%. So as long as you got that 80% covered, you're good with the 20%. You can eat out and not think about that for a little bit, right? That's in that 20%. You can go ahead and maybe get your favorite cookies once in a while from the supermarket, from a brand that reminds you of your childhood. That's fine. That's in the 20%. We don't need to flag ourselves or punish ourselves if we do that, right? We got to leave a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room for us to do that. But definitely focus on getting that 80% of your groceries fixed there, right? As close to the source as possible. That's the winning strategy there. Absolutely.
Wild, you bring up a good point about where you're sourcing your meat. That's something I've done now for the last few years. Is I split a half cow from a local farmer every year with my sister, and then we split a pig as well. So I load up my freezer every year with these high quality meats, and the price actually, while yes, you're spending a lot of money up front, it ends up translating into only $7 to $8 a pound for the beef, and that includes all the steaks, all the cuts, all the fillets, you name it. $7 to $8 a pound is it. It's even cheaper for the pork. get your hands on that free range chicken if you have some contacts in that space to find it. And that's exactly kind of what I do. So at least I know my meats are clean. I get the fresh produce at the farmers markets when I can, especially in the summertime, and it legitimately makes a difference. I'm telling you, if you eat cleaner, you will feel better. Your body is the ultimate machine. Put the fuel in
Absolutely.
it and run like a high
Look,
performance
and
sports car.
look, it's a survival machine. So you can live a year of McDonald's if you had to, and be alive. Your body will keep you alive and do with that, right? But
That's that
it
is
should
that is,
be.
that's like cruel and unusual punishment. Can you imagine if you had to do that for
Yeah,
a year?
well, look, if I was on a deserted island and that was my only option, then I would be like, hell yeah, right? Because it's very hard to source your own stuff there. So if there's any McDonald's there, I would definitely go for. But it's a survival situation, see, and you have a choice. We're not in a survival situation mostly, right? And so you shouldn't, right? You should not. If push come to shove, yes, our bodies can do with a lot of toxicity. We have awesome kidneys that filter out um, all this gunk, and our liver is doing a great job too. But they can only do that for so long, right? And if you don't have to, don't put your body through it, right? So if it's all you got, then yes. But in most likely scenario in your life, yes, you have other things you could choose, right? So don't. Our bodies can handle. I've had a lot of medication myself coming out of a wheelchair, and I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that may have had cancer and they had chemotherapy for years and years and years, and their body's still healing, right? So your body is amazing, but don't put it through things that you should not, right? That you have better options for. Yeah, because here's the truth of life, and I think Brian can agree with that. I have trained a lot of people who were older. Actually, the oldest female that I trained was 72 years old. Started powerlifting at 70, right? And she was like so into it. She was like, I wish I would have discovered this 40 years earlier, and so amazing. But here's the thing, I've seen these people and trained people who are older, and they all have something. So it's inevitable that later on in life we're going to get something. So you need to, I know it's very hard for us to plan for long term, especially that long term, but it taught me a lot about things that I really needed to avoid. So if you're having any issues right now, minor issues, tackle them, right? If you can do better with your food, tackle them now, because these things are not minor and are eventually going to lead to troubles. And when you have these troubles at an older age, they're incurable or very hard to come back from, and it's going to take away from how you're experiencing life later on. And so you got to, if you have an ache, right, or your knee is hurting or your back is hurting and you're in your 30s, tackle that shit right now, right? Go after it right now and get it sorted, because there's nobody who's going to do it for you. Also, I always recommend, when you're over 25, go ahead and get your blood work done. Get a baseline for everything, and all your hormones, your vitamins, everything. So it's inevitable later in life you're gonna have something, and the doctor is gonna ask for blood work. Now, here's what happens when you have no blood work that they can compare. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, it's a little bit short on this, or this is a little bit too much." But yeah, it could also be it's in range, and it could also be that you're just naturally have less of this. All right, how do you know, fucker? Right? So it is up to your responsibility to, when you're healthy, to get a good baseline of where you're at with everything. So later on, when they do need to get some blood work done for something that might be aching you, that they can compare, right? Because we're not all average. And sometimes you're on the, Napoleon head, you're on the extremes a little bit, maybe. And so these numbers, the one size fits all numbers, are maybe not for you, right? And they can just totally ignore something that is very important, because your blood work also for the medical field is still the best thing that gives a good snapshot of what is going on in your body. So you want to have a snapshot taken already, and I think when you're 30, 35 plus, that you need to do that a little bit more frequently, right? Just so you catch things earlier, because the medical world is not about prevention, you guys. That's up to you, right? That's up to you. They work after the fact. Let's go, Brian.
That, no, that's so true. While you bring a great point because it's about tackling challenges early before they become major problems. And I'm 40 years old, guys, so like I got sore muscles, my back hurts from time to time, my knees, these kind of things. But I was cognizant about it starting probably 5, 6 years ago, to where I kind of curtailed, the way I was treating my body, the way what I would lift, how I would lift at work, just kind of being more focused on, hey, I'm going to go out every year, every 2 years. I'm going to get a physical. Like you said, get some blood work. Make sure that if I do find the problem, I have the opportunity to start working to cure the problem. Because what happens, as you mentioned, Wild, is when you're older, you're going to show up at the doctor one day and you're going to have some kind of degenerative disease that's going to be very difficult to cure. You don't have the time anymore to be able to come back from that. And now all you have is treatment options where you're managing pain, you're managing symptoms, and it becomes more difficult. So the sooner you get ahead, like anything, uh, proper planning. It's proper planning, just like your day job, what you do at work. Proper plan about your body and listen to it. For God's sakes, listen to it. When there is something going on, either do something to fix it or get it checked out. Because as you get older, I can tell you, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get easier. You don't just wake up one morning and, oh, hey, my back feels
Yeah.
great.
Time,
This is
time
going
doesn't fix
well.
this. Time doesn't fix this.
No.
Right? So even when you are healthy, like I said, if you're sub 30, go ahead and get that snapshot of your blood work done, even if it takes an investment and is not being paid for by any insurance. Just, it's not that expensive. It's a good investment to make, and I will tell you, doctors will be so happy that you did, because it gives them information, and the more information that they had when you were healthy compared to you were not, they can spot issues that they might otherwise not spot, and they're very happy that you did. I could tell you that much. Any good doctor would confirm this immediately, like, yes, we love to have that information. And so, but nobody is telling you that, and because we deal with insurance, it's always reactive instead of proactive. And so you must come with an issue first, and sometimes you only get the insurance to pay for blood work when there is a need to pay for the blood work, and so there is something wrong already, right? And so it's the other way around. So you got to take charge of these things yourself. And I don't think a blood work is that expensive. If you got to save up for it, you got to do it. You got to do it, because one life, right? We don't know. You can believe in whatever, but nothing is confirmed yet. So for me, I still go with one life. And I have seen too much around me with training people, dealing with issues, joint issues, but also degenerative diseases and stuff. And I'm learning from these people, right? I'm watching them and thinking, I got to do better, maybe here too, and to avoid all this, because it's very hard and it's going to impact your life in ways that you might not know now. But are you're going to be happy with yourself, right? If you had these things in place, you're going to be happy if somewhere down the line you had that blood work done and now something's wrong, and the doctor is like, oh yeah, we see now clearly what's wrong because we have that other information. Oh my God, you're going to thank yourself, because or else they'll be looking for another year, right? And so, yeah, go ahead and do that. Also, Brian, can I inform you on some things that is actually science backed, and especially if you're over 40, I always recommend Limax stacking. Yes, we're stacking the N-acetylcysteine, which is called NAC. It is actually reducing oxidative stress. Also helps you out with your mitochondria cells, right? I'm a very health freak in this way. I do a lot of research because I have a very severe autoimmune disease myself, right? I have lupus. What's up? Welke is rijp? Welke is rijp? Hold on, I'm just gonna help my daughter out here. Picking a banana, but they're all kind of green. I think this one. Deze is heel groen. Okay, then this one. Zet je gewoon dingen uitkiezen en hoop dat ze goed zijn. Ik denk dat deze het is. Deze ook wel. Die je drie. Geeft me nu 3 bananen. Nou, dan doe je die even. Zijn. Dan doe je die even bekijken in het licht. Talking Dutch. But yeah, so I do extensive research to these things also when you're a professional athlete. a lot of things that you need to take as supplements, right? Because you're going to extremes. So you're going to have to take some extra stuffs here, like magnesium, zinc, and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, NAC, N-acetylcysteine, actually works on your lung cells, reducing oxidative stress. Also helps restore, repair your mitochondria. And so your mitochondria is found mainly in your brain, higher concentration, but definitely also in every organ, especially also lungs, right? And NAC kind of got a bad rep during Corona because a lot of people who were in the sports industry, including me, started to take a little bit more NAC because it helped fight off viruses. And so the health care wasn't too happy with all these people taking NAC. So I think in the United States they banned it for a while. But it's just protein, you guys. It's not anything else. It's just protein. Actually, in Germany, they give NAC to people before that have asthma or COPD and that kind of stuff, right? Uh, because before they give a puffer, because this is just very cheap protein. It's protein only. And yes, you will start to clear your lungs out a little bit with this, have a little bit more air, reducing that oxidative stress, more oxygen in the blood, more oxygen for the muscle if you're an athlete. That's why athletes take it. And then to stack that with glycine, now glycine is a protein as well, and normally recommendation would be like 5 milligrams a day. But actually, we used to get a lot of that because we used to drink a lot more soups that were made from bones and stuff, glycine. But glycine and NAC are actually ingredients for the biggest antioxidant in your body. That's glutathione, right? So these are the two ingredients there. So the anti-aging, quote unquote, anti-aging um, formula here is Glynex. So stack your glycine to 20 milligrams and your NAC to the normal recommendation would be 800 milligram if you have asthma. You might want to take two a day. It really helps for people with asthma, COPD, former smokers, all that kind of stuff, right? Very helpful there. So, wat is het again? Ik moet heel even verder. Dan snij je dat er even af gewoon. Maar wat betekent rood? Het is niet rood, het is bruin. There's a little
Hey,
spot on the banana.
hey, I just want to jump in and say too, like how I relate this to Web3 is like, if you want to give your full self to your project or this space and what you're doing, self care is so important. And I was guilty of this. Like just like a year ago or 10 months ago, I was putting in way too much time into this, long hours, long days, bad sleep, and it was actually affecting my home life, my performance, my connections with people and my family and all these different things. And I had to sit down and lock in and realize like, hey, in order to do this, I got to actually step back, focus on myself again, get right, get in a good routine so I can give it my all. And once I did that, I had mental clarity. I felt much better. I'm able to perform better. It's important in this space, guys. This Web3 space,
Oh,
since
can
it's a
kill you.
24-hour, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
24-hour space. You will always have an email, a DM, a call, spaces. There is always something going on 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you can't separate that and find some time to take care of yourself, it will eat you alive and,
yes.
and spit you out and chew you up. So
Absolutely. Just watching the screens, right? I notice now too that I watch the screens some more because I need to be trading, right? But it's doing a number with falling asleep and stuff. So I really got to have, pretty rough rules with myself. Like, no, we need to stop now. Even though I might see a trade lurking in the next half an hour. Well, too bad, right? I got to check out because I got to do this all again tomorrow and for the long term. So yeah, definitely, right? To be DJing around with Red Bulls, staying up all night and late, it doesn't need that in crypto to make it in crypto, right? Not at all. Actually, on the contrary, the more plugged in you are, the more possible you are be prone to make wrong decisions when it comes to your trades. So just there are people who are just doing a DCA and never look at charts to just pay attention to the main cycle and cash out, right? So it's absolutely not needed. In fact, if you do feel like you always need to, that might just be something in you that you need to address a little bit. There might be some stress around money, and that's the reason why you always feel that you need to hustle so hard. And I know it's kind of the culture, like we need to hustle, hustle hard and stuff, but I think it's kind of bullshit. You don't need to, right? You're putting yourself through it, and there can be better ways. Yeah, so touching grass and just having a life outside of this is very important, you guys. And also to like Brian, like you just did, right? Just go on and network in real life, meet some people who are into crypto, but then do it out, have a nice dinner or coffee together or something. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's all about kind of setting your conditions. So yeah, I was out here in Austin on business, right? Many meetings, many phone calls, conversations, emails, all those different kinds of things. But when I was there, I was sitting outside. I grabbed my laptop, enjoying the sun, getting my vitamin D in, enjoying my coffee, and then go to a nice dinner. Have a conversation, enjoy myself, share a beverage with the person across from me, and enjoy being a part of this, not just the grind, all the grind. And it really made a big difference. Not only did I get a lot of work done, made a lot of great connections, I had a wonderful 72 hours enjoying myself while working. And I think that's the ultimate goal. If you can accomplish that, you're going to be very happy in
Yes.
life and in work. But Wild, I got to take off. I just wanted to
Yes.
come get
Thank you
caught
for
up. And
coming,
yeah,
Brian. Thank you for
anytime.
coming. Brian is from Podchain, you guys. You might want to go to his profile and follow him because Podchain, very bullish project, you guys. So you might just want to check that out. I know this is Sui space, but hey, can't discriminate if we see something bullish, right? So go ahead and follow Brian. Full of knowledge, been in the space longer, actually successful also, right? So go ahead and do that. Yes. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming,
we're
Brian.
actually
Very
working
nice.
on our
Yes.
connection to the SUI network, so
Here we
I'm
go.
very
I was
excited
waiting
about
for
that.
that. Yes. Well, when you're ready, let me know and we'll do a special space about it, right? I think we should put that in the
Mm-hmm.
sunlight
That would be
and
awesome.
do special space. Yes, let's do that. Just tip me off when you're ready. And Sui is also available on the pod chain. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that is so bullish, you guys. Yes, definitely. Take care of you, taking care of yourselves in the space while you're doing this. Again, if you're running from poverty, you might feel that stress of needing to hustle a little bit more than any other person would, right? And so sometimes it's just, changing a little bit of your mindset around money and just know that you're going to be all right. Stop, relax. You're going to be all right. It's going to all work out for you, right? You got to have, persisting is not necessarily mean more hustle. You just got to then persist in the feeling of that safety. You're going to be all right. You're still all right. You survived all this time, so life's actually telling you you're okay. It's gonna be okay tomorrow too, right? Whatever gotta happen for you to stay alive will happen, and you will do it, right? So stop trying to bring extra stress into that story.
Mm.
Um, just like I always tell Tick, give up, Tick. If it's not working out, sit down. Sit your ass down. It's gonna be all right. Just let go, right? Release for a little bit, relax a little, recuperate a little bit, breathe in, breathe out, get back in your flow. Because work, and I have worked lots the last 10 years, ever since I was a rocket getting out of that wheelchair. I opened my gym, I went to be a professional athlete, gold, silver medals, kind of stuff, right? But I was nonstop working. I worked 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week because when you own your own gym, this is no joke. You got to be engaged. But I never once felt like I was lacking days off because I was having so much fun. Changing people's lives is kind of my mission, and so much enjoyment in getting back from all of that that I never felt like I was missing out on anything. Uh, so so yeah. All right. I want to thank everybody. If you left your wallet, we're gonna address that gas, and you'll find it within the next 24 hours. And some rando will get some extra sui from me personally. And so I hope that you left your wallet so you are eligible for all of that. Well, you're gonna at least get some fart coins, some gas, right? We're gonna do that. Are you ready, Tick? You want to add anything here, Tick? Is there
Yeah.
anything on your
Yeah.
agenda?
We can go ahead and get the ball rolling.
Get the ball
Yeah.
rolling.
I had been messing around on that liquidity pool that I was talking about that I
Yes.
put a little test amount. I put $30 in there to kind of see what would happen. But already I had to pull out the liquidity like 3 times.
Oh
So
God.
and so I just kept adjusting it because I was like, oh, I'm just messing around with this anyway. I mean, right now I have a APR of 2,000%. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe I should try increasing it by like 10x and then see
Yeah.
what the rewards are like.
See what it does. See
Yeah.
what it does.
But yeah, so let's go ahead
All
and
right, you guys.
yeah, let's I'm gonna go
Yes,
ahead
wrap it up.
and
Of course. Yeah.
oh, I didn't even realize
I'm
it's
gonna
already
play it.
noon. Oh well, oh, don't you want to? Oh,
What? What do we need to do?
oh, you didn't want to pick a wallet address?
No, I'm just gonna do that rando
Oh,
and then make a post about it tomorrow
oh, okay.
because they might not be in the space anyway. So and, yeah,
A
some
lot of
people left their
people, a
wallet.
lot of people dropped out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we get a lot of
So
wallet
it would take
addresses on
too
here?
long.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
yeah, like
yeah.
29, like 29. It's fine. I'll just just do random. I'll put it into the thing and let that one pick for me, and I'll send it there. Or I'm
Awesome.
gonna just say it right now. I'm gonna pick the one with the three on the end, right? The three on the end wins. Okay, the three on the end gets some suing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the
Well,
easiest way to do it, right? Are you ready, Tick?
yes.
All right, cool. Let's go. What's the ticker? Where's it at?
What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag. Send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map. Solana sniping like a gat. And the Sowie is moving quickly. I'm the squeezing where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back. And the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yes, you guys. Thank you all for coming and listening in on this 2 week summer special. That's what we're gonna do every Thursday. So we're happy to see you then. Join us tomorrow, and then for me, after that, I'll be going to that Sui special for the females on Sui, right? And we're gonna talk with some big girls in the space, not the big girls. So thank you for coming. You guys, you need to follow each other to the left, to the right. We're all in this together, right? To give each other some love there. Let's go. Tick.
Awesome. Thank you again for joining us, everybody. Stay bullish, my friends. We will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, your bags are pumped. Let's go.
Yeah, send it.